All right, what's good? I'm back. Triple P Paul Pickett Podcast, aka the Common Sense Podcast. Your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. I had a knock at the door. Had the big homie dropping by, so I had to answer the door. So I had to get off the podcast and the live real quick. So we're gonna redo. We're gonna start. Luckily, I didn't get so far into it. We're gonna start off with it was the Houston Rockets game who beat the Charlotte Hornets 112 to 109. That doesn't really say much about the Rockets. Rockets started all their starters. The Hornets are literally both teams are in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, and past that, you're in the Scoot Henderson sweepstakes. Rockets only won by 3 points, and we literally started a bunch of bench players. You got 14 and 21 rebounds out of this Alberin Sengunyan, whatever his name is. I think a lot of people have said that he's actually the best player on the team. If you get 14 to 21 with 2 steals and a block, it looks like you might be the best. 26 for Jalen Green and 26 from Porter Jr. They both had over 5 assists as well. Charlotte, we started a bunch of bench players. Theo Maladin gave you 22 and 25 from Savai, uh, Luke. So yeah, if the Hornets, I mean, if the we're both screwed if neither both of these teams are screwed if neither one of them get Victor Wembanyama. Hornets need to at least get Scoot Henderson, I would say. All right, Detroit played the Pacers, beat them 122 to 115. Killian Hayes, 28 points, 29 from Jaden Ivey, 18 from Corey Joseph. Uh, Buddy Hield gave you 22 for the Pacers. Andrew Nimbar gave you 12 and 10 assists for the Pacers. And Benedict Mathurin gave you 16, along with 15 from Isaiah Jackson. And this Benedict Mathurin, if I'm not mistaken, he's a rookie. He's like literally top 4 or 5 rookies this year. So Pacers need to just be healthy with Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin. That's their 2 guys to kind of build off of. They still got TJ McConnell's out, Miles Turner's out. Miami Heat lost to the Washington Wizards. Looks like the Heat didn't play none of their starters probably. Then they didn't. They got 17 out of Cody Zeller. He was leading scorer. Oh, my bad. Victor Oladipo was leading scorer with 30 points off the bench. Washington Wizards gave you 19 from Corey Kispert, 22 from Daniel Gafford, and 16 from Johnny Davis. Is this the Johnny Davis that went 10th? Yeah, he was the 10th pick in the draft this year. Philadelphia 76ers beat the Atlanta Hawks. Sixers didn't really start nobody either. That was original starter. You got 24 from Georgia Snang. Jalen McDaniels gave you 24, 19 from Jaden Springer, and 22 from Daniel House Jr. off the bench. Atlanta pretty much had all their starters and still lost. Trae Young gave you 27 and 20 assists. 27 and 20 assists. Oh wow, we just saw 20. We just saw 2 20-point 20 assist games in like this last week. I think Fred VanVleet just did a 20-20 game like less than a week ago. Trae Young was at plus 10, but everybody else DeJounte Murray was a negative 23 with 19 points, negative 13 from Clint Capella, negative 14 from John Collins, negative. It wasn't definitely Trae Young that lost that game. It's everybody else. Everybody else didn't do squat. And I would say Atlanta really doesn't need to be losing any games going into the play-in tournament like that. Toronto versus Boston. Boston waxed them 121-102, as should. OG Anunoby didn't do much. 7 points. Pascal Siakam, 19. Fred VanVleet, 12. 8 assists and 16 from Precious Achiuwa. Boston pretty much didn't have Jaylen Brown. It seems like they're resting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown rested one game, and then Jason Tatum rested the next game, and Jaylen Brown rested again. You got 26 from Sam Hauser, 21 from Jason Tatum, 22 from Peyton Pritchard off the bench, 12 from Derek Wright with 10 assists. And they also didn't play Danilo Gallinari and Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart. Boston is going to be very, very scary come playoff time. Wow, they're going to be so scary. I mean, the Bucks and Boston are pretty much like neck and neck as how deep they are. Orlando Magic played the Brooklyn Nets and lost 101-84. This, I think, was the last game for Brooklyn. Hopefully, Brooklyn plays one more game. I think I looked earlier, and my prediction I didn't quite get to my prediction. We'll get to that in a second, though. Franz Wagner played. He gave you 12 points. Markelle Fultz, 7-14 from Cole Anthony. Brooklyn Nets, you got 22 out of Bridges, 18 out of Cam Johnson, and 22 out of Nick Claxton. I made a prediction that Mikal Bridges would get 20 points a game average when he went to the Suns to the Nets, because he put up 11 30-point games since at Brooklyn. I said he'd get the 20.5 by the end of the season. I don't think I'm going to get that prediction. He got the 20.4, but it's damn near close enough. Y'all might as well give it to me. If he had one more game, I mean, he'll literally get it. But Mikal Bridges, the best thing that ever happened to him was go get traded. Memphis Grizzlies beat the Milwaukee Bucks 137-114. 19 from Luke Kennard. Dylan Brooks gave you 11. 36 from Jaren Jackson. 16 from Desmond Bane. And 12 from Ja Morant. And you still got over 26 off the bench. about 38, 40 points off the bench as well. Bucks still, like, I'm not reading into this game, though. No, this game doesn't tell me nothing. Memphis Grizzlies beat the Bucks, who played Marjan Beauchamp, Jay Crowder, Myers Leonard, who was damn near out the league a few years ago. They tried to cancel him out the league because he wouldn't kneel. He wouldn't get with the woke mob's views and ideologies. Lyndall Wigginton, don't even know who he is, put up 25. So it doesn't really tell me much that the Bucks lost this game to the Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies had all their starters and the Bucks didn't play none of their starters. Knicks got beat by the New Orleans Pelicans 113-105. RJ Barrett gave you 28, 24 from Emmanuel Quickley, 31 from Trey Murphy, 18 from Brandon Ingram, 23 from CJ McCollum. Of course, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson didn't play. Of course, Zion Williamson still isn't playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. And what do we got? 3 more games to go through. And we're going to talk about this next game. It's going to be the team I'm going to talk about is the Dallas Mavericks, who lost to the Chicago Bulls because they wanted to rest. They want to sit Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Christian Wood and Maxi Kleber. What for, man? What for? Like, it's crazy. The Bulls literally didn't even have all their starters either. The Bulls didn't even start Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan. I just don't get it, man. Kobe White, former Tar Heel, gave you 24 points, 11 assists. 20 points from Vucevic. Patrick Williams gave you 23. Mavericks didn't do shit, man. And they actually didn't play Luka Doncic. If they had played Luka Doncic the whole game, they'd have probably won this game. They only played in the first quarter. They should have played him the whole game, and they'd have won this game, man. Even with sitting, if they'd have played Luka Doncic the whole game, it would have almost, and they would have won. It could have justified resting their people, but it still doesn't. It wouldn't really justify it in my mind, but it could have a little bit. Warriors trounced the Kings. This is another reason why I'm not sold on the Kings come playoff time. You got 29 from Klay Thompson, 25 from Steph Curry, 18 from Dante DiVincenzo, and Jonathan Kuminga gave you 15 off the bench as well. Kings didn't really do much. Of course, the Kings, they're sitting their dudes. They didn't have De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, or Domantas Sabonis. 3 of their starters didn't even play. Phoenix Suns lost to the Lakers. The Suns pretty much, I'm not buying into this game. This game doesn't tell me nothing. The Suns sat all their starters. Every last one. Lakers had all their starters playing. You got 21 from Malik Beasley, 24 from D'Angelo Russell, 22 from Austin Reeves, 14 and 21 rebounds from Anthony Davis, and 16, 6 and 6 from LeBron. Check out the standings. Do the Clippers got any games left? If the Clippers lose this next game, the Lakers could actually go into the 6th seed. The 6th seed. But I want to talk about Dallas. Dallas quitting, giving up. Apparently, they decided to go with the lottery, try to get a lottery pick. They'll have a 10th pick. The only 10th pick that I've seen that was any substance was CJ McCollum. And you had to wait 2 years before he panned out. So I don't know what they think the 10th pick is going to do for them next year with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Even if they keep Kyrie, but if I'm the Mavs fans, I'd be so disappointed today. I saw the rankings. They got Luka Doncic over Kevin Durant. There's no way, no how can I rank Luka Doncic over Kevin Durant. I can't do it, man. Can you do it? I'm not going to be able to do it. I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. And the fact that NBA.com has James Harden ranked top 10 in the MVP race and Embiid number 1. That X's out. If you got anybody on your team that's top 10 in the MVP race, you're top 3 and you got a guy who's top 10 in MVP race on your team, that pretty much X's you out. As far as I'm concerned, you can't be number 1 in the MVP race if there's also a guy on your team that's number 10, top 10. He's number 8 in the MVP race rankings right now. They got James Harden number 8. I don't know that I will put James Harden number 8, but the fact that they got him ranked number 8 should automatically disqualify Embiid from being number 1. It makes no sense. It's so bogus. And to me, the MVP is Giannis. Giannis again. Giannis, team with the best record. Drew Holiday missed a lot of games. Chris Middleton missed a lot of games. I would give it to Giannis. Now, would I like to see Embiid win it? Yes, I would. But I'm not going to be dumping in a bag of bricks and just throw common sense out the window, common knowledge out the window, that if you got a guy on your team that's top 10 in MVP race, you can't be number 1. When two guys on this team are literally top 10 in MVP race, you can't be number 1. Number 3, okay, I'll settle with that. But yeah, and the fact they made the MVP race a white and a black thing, man, is so bogus to me. It's so bogus to me. When there's only been like 3 white MVPs in my whole lifetime. I'm about to turn 44 tomorrow. There's been 3 in my whole lifetime. And we're calling that racism. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, Dallas, a bunch of quitters. I don't think the 10th seed is going to make the 10th pick is going to make any difference. And that's the team. The top 3 teams have the same exact chance to get the number 1 pick. So whoever's the 4th really has the best odds. And I think the 4th best team in the league is my Charlotte, or the 4th worst team, excuse me. The 4th worst team in the league is my Charlotte Hornets. So my Charlotte Hornets have very, very good odds of getting Victor Wembanyama. And if we get this one of the top 2 picks, just one of the top 2 picks, I'll be very happy with that. I'll be happy with Scoot Henderson and LaMelo Ball, but I would be way more happy with Victor Wembanyama. If we get Victor Wembanyama, I'm going to be personally popping Dizzle bottles and celebrating. I'm going to be popping bottles, man, if we get Victor Wembanyama. Because the only player that we've ever drafted that would be anywhere the caliber of Victor Wembanyama was Kobe Bryant, which we dumped in a bag of bricks, traded away on draft night for, I want to say, Vlade Divac. We traded away for Vlade Divac. Kobe Bryant would have been the best. We probably would have kept Kobe Bryant, though. He probably would have left after his first rookie extension. He probably would have left because we probably wouldn't have put enough around him to win. But, yeah, Kobe Bryant is the best player we've ever drafted. Second best player we ever drafted. As far as impacting winning, I would probably say would be LaMelo Ball. Some people would say Larry Johnson. But Larry Johnson needed Alonzo Mourning just to win, just to even get to the playoffs. And we couldn't even we ain't even go to the Eastern Conference Finals with Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, which was Larry Johnson was a number 1 pick overall, and Alonzo Mourning was like number 2 or number 3 pick overall behind Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, we couldn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals with 2 top 3 picks. LaMelo Ball, I mean, like the first year we drafted LaMelo had us looking good, and like he actually was winning games for us. And a healthy LaMelo Ball affects winning because he's not a ball hog either. He's a willing passer, willing rebounder. And he can stretch the floor with his long-range threes. So we get Victor Wembanyama, going to definitely be celebrating. Let me look up NFL.com real quick, see if there's anything of substance to talk about. Nothing really to talk about. Nothing to talk about. I'm calling it now, though. Carolina Panthers, based on what I'm seeing from all the experts, I'm going with Bryce Young to the Panthers. People keep talking this. He's too small. He's too small. Charlie Ward never really got a chance to try to make it in the league. This idea that you have to be an athletic freak to be a quarterback where did this shit come from? Because what athletic freak of a quarterback has won a Super Bowl? None. 0. Like these super athletic freak, these guys that could just run faster, jump higher than everybody as a quarterback, they don't win Super Bowls. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford. What all these guys have in common? They can't run for shit except Patrick Mahomes. He's the only guy that can run, and he ain't even no like dominant runner. He just can run. None of these other guys can run, man. They're slow as molasses. They're slow as the snow. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson. Yeah, he can. Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes is about as running as you get for a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Or Steve Young. Steve Young was a pocket passer first, and then he run. That's how these cats do. A cat that's looking to run like 60, 70% of the time has yet to prove that he can win a Super Bowl. So let's pump the brakes with this Lamar Jackson false narratives. Because a player like Lamar Jackson has yet to prove that he can win a Super Bowl. And I'm not paying just because the Cleveland Clowns are desperate and they pay Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed doesn't mean a non-desperate team has to do the same. Until I see a dominant running quarterback can win a Super Bowl, no chance in hell, no way in hell am I paying you fully guaranteed money. You got to prove you can win a Super Bowl with that kind of quarterback. They keep trying to force the issue. Forcing the issue doesn't result to winning. I'm gonna pull up the list of last Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I mean, we're gonna go through this and we're gonna look. I'm gonna see. We're gonna look for a predominantly dominant running quarterback. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes. No, pocket passer. Stafford, pocket passer. Brady, pocket passer. Pat Mahomes again, pocket passer. Nick Foles. Oh, guess what? He was a pocket passer. Russell Wilson, pocket passer first. Joe Flacco, pocket passer. Couldn't run for shit. Aaron Rodgers, he can run. He can run, but he's a pocket passer. It's really just Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson so far of guys who can run almost as good as they could pass. Eli Manning, pocket passer. Drew Brees, pocket passer. Ben Roethlisberger, pocket passer. Brad Johnson, pocket passer. Kurt Warner, pocket passer. John Elway, pocket passer. Brett Favre, pocket passer. Troy Aikman, pocket passer. Steve Young, he's another one of those. He could run when he had to, but he was a pocket passer. Mark Rippon, pocket passer. Jeff Hostetler, pocket passer. Joe Montana, pocket passer. Doug Williams, pocket passer. First black quarterback to win a Super Bowl was not a dominant running quarterback. He was pass first, run second. Phil Simms. Jim McMahon from my 85 Bears couldn't run shit. He had Walter Payton for that. Jim Plunkett, Joe Theismann, Terry Bradshaw, pocket passers. You guys are overthinking this shit. Where are you getting this dominant running quarterback, fully guaranteed money? He can't win a Super Bowl because you're not applying common sense and common knowledge. You might have all the football smarts in the world, but you got this much common sense, common knowledge. Because why can a dominant running quarterback not win a Super Bowl and not proving it? Because when they get behind 14 or 21 points, they can't run the ball up the field and run the clock out at the same time and come back. They got to be a pocket passer and get a long 40, 50-yard, 60-yard pass up the field and score like that. You got to score like that when you're down 14, 21 points. And everybody's going to be down at some point. Cam Newton, the last dominant quarterback besides Jalen Hurts. I would say Jalen Hurts passes more than Cam Newton, but Cam Newton is a truly dominant running quarterback. Run first, pass second. Where did it get us? One sack from Von Miller. What did it get us? Shook. Cam Newton was shook. Ain't no such thing as halfway crook. Scared of the beef, son. He scared of shook. Look, he was shook. He was a shook one. Like, where do y'all get this BS, this horseshit from, that we got to pay a fully guaranteed contract to a fully dominant running quarterback who's not a pocket passer? He's looking to run. The whole offense is based about him running the ball the majority of the time. Until it has been done, there's no proof it can be done. And this idea that just because a clown show of a organization of the Browns are desperate. I mean, the Cleveland Clowns have never had a quarterback name-wise and stature-wise as big as Deshaun Watson. I get it makes sense for them to go all in. But guess what? Deshaun Watson, I mean, he could come back next year, and if they don't even make the playoffs, he could be getting traded, man. He could be out of Cleveland. Because when you pay somebody all that fully guaranteed money, you better win now. Right now. Right now. And another thing it tells me is when you're a quarterback that wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, you know what it also says to me? You don't want to win a Super Bowl. You don't want to win. Because in the NFL, the quarterbacks that win Super Bowls have to take somewhat of a pay cut. You got to be able to put enough around them. You got to be able to put enough around them. Patrick Mahomes, team-friendly deal. Why? And that team-friendly deal is going to ensure that Patrick Mahomes is going to be in the AFC Championship probably every single year, like he has been. Jalen Hurts is another cat that I think will go on a team-friendly deal. And some people are like, oh, just take the bag, take all the money. Well, when you do that, I don't want to hear about you care about winning after that. Because that's horseshit. It's BS. You don't care about winning if you just want to be the highest paid in the league. Jordan was never the highest paid player in the league until after he won all 6 championships. You do know that. Kobe Bryant was never the highest paid player in the league till after he won all his 5 championships. That's the thing. When you win a shit ton of championships for an organization, they're going to reward you on the back end. They'll reward you on the back end, unless it's New England, of course. Unless it's New England. But Michael Jordan was the highest paid until after he won 6. Kobe Bryant was the highest paid after he won 5. And after that, I mean, I'm not expecting you don't give me 5 rings. I'm not expecting you to necessarily give me 6 or 7. I'm paying you for all that you've done. It's like a bonus, you know. So yeah. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Paul Pickett Podcast. And I'm out.